Okay, the first thing, one of the first things that you guys should do as you work through math this week is make sure that you have a list of prime factors. Here I get you started. Notice that when you have a prime number, 2 is a prime number, you don't put 1 times 2. 1 is not a prime number. We only want prime factors. So 2 is its only factor. 3 is a prime, 3 is its only factor. 4 has 2 times 2 as factors. And I would go all the way to number 144 or beyond. Okay, to get started, simplifying fractions using prime factors. So this is a really easy method, and I know that when you were in younger grades, they wanted you to find the greatest common factor of 6 and 14, which would be a process over here, which would be a process over here. You might list all the factors and figure out which one. Well, this is a fast way to do it. If you've got your prime factors list, you'll know that 6, the prime factor of 6 is 2 times 3. And we didn't get to 14, but we'll do that. So 2 times 3. 14 is the same thing as 2 times 7. Notice that each of these numbers is prime. 2 is a prime number, 3 and 7. When everything is being multiplied, meaning they're all factors, like things can be crossed off. And what do you have left? 3 sevenths. See how, if I hadn't done all this talking, see how quickly that is? So if you have, 6 14ths, you would just write that as 2 times 3, 2 times 7, and that gives you 3 sevenths. It's a pretty fast way to reduce fractions. Okay, I don't have to even take the time to erase. Okay, so now we've got a little bit bigger numbers, but it's okay. If you look at your prime factors list, you'll notice that 16 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 36 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And if you're not sure when you're doing it, just do this. 36 is even, so 2 times 18. 18 is even, 2 times 9. 9 is not even, and 3 goes into it, 3 times 3. Notice, these don't have any other arms. That's the prime factorization of 36. Once you have the prime factorization of both of those numbers, notice how these are all factors. They're all being multiplied, so you can cancel out anything that's the same. Anything that remains, just multiply numerator number with numerator. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Just like that. We're going to do one 3 different ways. Now, because if you know your factors really well, if you're somebody that knows factors of larger numbers, this will speed the process. So the first one, we're going to just show prime factors. 20 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 5. 100 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Notice how there's nothing above this second 5. Well, that's okay. I'm going to erase that. I'll wait and have you do this when we're finished. Okay, now you can cancel the factors. So those can cancel, those can cancel. If everything can cancel, go ahead and put that invisible 1 up there. Remember, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And look at what remains, 1/5. Now what happens if you recognize that, oh, 10 goes into 20, 10 goes into 100, so you wrote 10 times 2, or 10 times 10. Well, those 10s cancel. Now 2 goes into 10, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. Those cancel. This is an equal sign right here. There's that invisible 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Also 1/5. Now what if some of you recognize that 20 goes into 100? So you could write 20 times 1 And down here you could write 20 times 5, leaving 1/5. So if you don't know your factors well, just use your prime factorization chart. If you notice that both numbers end in 0, you could start with 10. 10 times 2, 10 times 10. Then you have this smaller number, 2/10 to reduce. 2 times 1, 2 times 5. And we actually would add that one later because it's not a prime factor. And then 20. Now, if you're going to reduce a monomial, it's the same process. 4 is the same as 2 times 2. X squared is the same thing as x times x. 14 is the same thing as 2 times 7. X cubed is the same thing as x times x times x. So you're going to cancel. You're going to cancel the factors that are the same, and whatever you have left, they didn't all cancel on top, so you do have a 2, and 7 times x is 7x. That's how easy it is, and this is full-on algebra that you're doing. There you go. That's it. That's what you'll be doing this week.